how are you
Yeah,
guys?
I not too bad actually, not too bad. What about you?
Aye, doing good, doing good.
Yeah, looking forward to this. To be fair.
Yeah, I know. But it's, the exact same thing happened the last time. Like I was with Robin and Christopher for the West Lothian Film Festival, and I was just like doing an episode with festival directors and stuff, and it was this is the exact same thing happened. I've done every episode in my room, but for some reason, like the service just doesn't work anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm now doing it in my car and in different pages, so it's just an absolute mess. So I might have to get a new dedicated page or something.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
I
happens.
mean, it was suggested a Facebook Live. Have you ever tried that with this? Is this something maybe?
That's a potential, yeah.
Yeah.
We could probably try and do that. I'm actually wanting to try and do it like face to face at some point.
Yeah.
Expand on it. Like making more podcast related and stuff, and then yeah, just like general, like sit down in the chair kind of thing. So
Yeah.
we'll see where it goes. It is always a good kind of conversation to have. You know what I mean? So it's yeah. So as I say, I've been excited to get back on track with filmmakers and filmmaking.
Yeah.
I do like speaking to many different directors, and we're always asking each other questions and stuff. But I always open up with the same question every time, and I would like an answer from both, obviously from each question. But what is your favorite film of all time?
You go first.
Oh, I don't know. Oh my God, there's so many. I mean, when I was younger, I was kind of obsessed with Back to the Future. It was
Oh,
something I don't. I liked the concept when I was younger. I love them, but I don't know now. I don't know what I'd say my favorite film is now. I did go to see No Evil actually in the cinemas just the other day with my friend Siobhan, and that was actually really good. I enjoyed it personally. I don't know
I,
if you've.
I saw that myself. Yeah, I did like it. I would say it was. I did really really enjoy it. It was maybe just a bit predictable, but like it was really good. I thought
Yeah, I
that.
mean, we thought
Go
it'd
on.
be slightly different considering from the trailer. I don't know. I thought it would be a bit more action packed than it was. There was action, of course, in it, but I think I expected more of that. But it carried more the suspenseful sort of vibe throughout it. The tension is more what was carried, which wasn't a bad choice. It was just a different choice, but enjoyed it all the same. I would say it's
Mm.
worth a watch.
No, I would say so. Yeah, I would say it's definitely one of the better stuff that's out at the moment. I think it was very. I was quite shocked to see McAvoy as well. Like he put out a good performance as usual, but like I can't believe like how big he is now. Yeah, do you not think he's
Yeah,
put on quite a bit? Like he's massive transformation for sure.
yeah, he's all built now and stuff like that. It's fantastic, eh?
Ah, yeah,
He's yeah.
yeah. I was uh, I was just going to say, like, Back to the Future is my second of all time. Like,
Oh no.
it's so close with me. I've watched Back to the Future like far too many times. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, went
I
to the
was the same.
anniversary screening, then I went to the other anniversary screening because of how obsessed I was with it.
Yeah. Like I say, I think that was one of my favourites for a long time. But like I say, I couldn't tell you much now what I like because I like such a variety of different films and for different reasons too.
Yeah,
I do like horror, but finding a good horror because horror it differentiates because some people like the jump scare aspect. I more like the suspenseful. I like things that are just creepy. So I remember, and I think it's called Mama, and when
yeah,
she's like falling on the floor, she's not doing nothing, she's not jumping. But that to me is like, ooh, that's what
yeah.
I like. I like the more creepy side of like horror, I
Mm.
think.
It's funny you say that. Nico and like Peter will always tell you like every time that I try and approach horror, it's not the jump scare aspect that kind of gets me more than anything. I want something to spook me and like to something that I'm going to be thinking about for a long long time. And it's
Mhm.
certain concepts kind of help with that. Like if you've ever seen a film called It Follows, for example, such a simple concept, but
Mm.
Yeah.
it's like just imagine that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've also had this question of like uh, you can take 10 million today, but a snail is going to follow you for the rest of your life, and if it touches you, you die. So it's like
Yeah.
it's literally one of these things, and it's true, isn't it? It's like
Yeah. It's fascinating what you can come up with for a film because there's so many different avenues that you can go down. You know, like you say, someone thought about that, something that follows you, and a snail, for example. But like, you know, that came to your head. You know, you can think of anything and do anything with films. So I think that's what I like about it, how much variety there actually is for everybody.
Yeah.
Because one thing's for me, nothing for yourself or for Connor. So yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's I do agree. Like, I could talk about horrors all day again. Like, I see that, funnily enough, we're going to be going into a horror, I think, further down the line. But it's you're right. It's funny you say that. Like literally, like the most effective horror films are the ones that basically spook you and make you think for a good while, don't they? Like, thought Longlegs was actually quite good for a while as well. We saw that not long ago. I don't know if you've seen that at all, have you?
I haven't, but I know my friends have, to be fair.
No.
Is it good?
Oh no, amazing. Aye, I mean, again, me, Robin naturally here was he went and saw it with me with Peter and Lauren, and it was again really good. But for some reason, there was maybe just a wee bit of a weak ending to it. But it's just you know, again, the concept of it, like leading up to the final act, was just so spooky. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you question this main actor all the time. What are you doing? Like, why do you live in this certain way? You're literally asking yourself to basically live the scariest life possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. Aye. Right, Connor, favorite film? You've had a good while to think about
I've
it.
got an answer for you. So, see, to be honest, right, I don't think I've always got like a all-time favorite film.
Okay.
I think if you ask me one day, it'll probably change from day to day. But thinking now, a film I'll always go back to and love to watch again and again and again would be Snatch.
Okay. Yep. It's a great choice.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just I don't know how many times I've seen it. Probably at least 100 now. But it's such a great film.
I've seen Snatch a good few times myself. Like, again, I like Guy Ritchie as a director. I think
It's just it's the characters are so big. You know, just it's amazing. The personalities are just massive. The soundtrack as well is just perfection.
yeah, no, and surprisingly to me, like Brad Pitt with his Irish accent was actually pretty good. I thought,
Yeah,
like, I was so surprised at how well he actually done that. But yeah, there's just something about Guy Ritchie. I think that it's just he makes some really, really like high quality films, you know, and like at the same time, I feel like he's kind of he releases I think like 4 a year, but like and you're always guaranteed at least one to be good. But like the other three, one will be like okay, and then the other two, it's like well, no one's really heard of them because it's not like what he is capable of, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
definitely.
yeah, no, it's good answers. I've got another interesting one. So uh, again, it's like a question that I think people need to think about because it is something that you have to adapt to. But if you were to pick one film to see for the first time ever on IMAX, what would it be?
I know my answer. Do you know? You need time to think?
I think I need
Okay.
time, yeah.
So this is probably would be my choice, my second choice for all-time favorite film. It would be Star Wars
Yeah,
Episode 3.
yeah,
It just
fantastic choice. Yeah,
it gets a lot of criticism. I don't feel like it deserves it, you know, especially not in hindsight.
yeah,
It's just such a great
yeah,
film.
yeah. No, it's a phenomenal film. I'd say that that's probably like one of my favorites as well. Actually, out of the whole franchise, actually. But again, getting to see that on IMAX would be something else as well, wouldn't it? Like, I felt like if you were to restore that to IMAX format as well, I think it would be incredible. You know?
Yeah, I mean the film's what like is it 19 years old this
Yeah.
year? I think, which is nuts. Um, but everything in that film,
I still
from the
think,
lightsaber duels, are
yeah,
just top
I
notch.
think
Best lightsaber duels in the in all
100%.
out of all of the Star Wars
Yeah,
films.
I would say I would agree with that one. I still think it holds up. Like I think that it's probably like the final battle especially is the best.
Oh yeah,
franchise.
the music, everything.
Oh, it's perfection.
It's almost a shame that you know how the story goes, and but it's still great despite that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a phenomenal film, and it's another one that kind of see. I'm quite an emotional guy, and see the bloody the memes that I get from it, and all the time, like with Vader and like his situation. It's just like, I don't know. There's just something about it that I still kind of go back to. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Have you ever a gamer yourself, or?
Yeah, kind of always have been. Not so
Did
much
you ever
since
play the game?
The game specifically for the movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I did.
And you had
It's
the
really
two
good.
endings.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could go the movie way, or you could go the opposite way.
No, no, they were good. That's nostalgia views, that one, but no, it was great. What about yourself, Kelly? Have you thought of your answer?
So it took me a while there. So one that I think I really loved and I think I'd like to see is the Iron Giant. That's one of my favourite to go by. It's like the animation. Oh my god! I watched that
Iron
one.
Giant.
It's my
favourite. Love the
I have
Iron Giant.
that's the first question. Iron Giant. I would love to see that again. I watched it relentlessly. My mum used to hire it from the library close to where we live, and just for us, I ended up buying it because I just continuously watched it. You know, and I still love it to this day, and I love the lesson behind it too. I think it's a very good lesson. But yeah,
It's Vin Diesel.
An emotional one.
Yeah.
Another
Vin Diesel.
emotional one.
Yeah.
Iron Giant's phenomenal. I think I was thinking to myself, like I would also be pretty good on the ice sense. I mean, obviously you still kind of have that on IMAX as well, but yeah, I would love to see like if an anniversary screening came for that, I would be well on board for that. It'd be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hitting off of like favorites and stuff, but I just want to. This is more last when it comes to cinema related, but can you remember your earliest film memory?
Ooh. I think I do, to be fair.
I've got two memories in my head. I can't remember what one was first. So the first one, and I think this is the one that was earliest. It was the Winnie the Pooh film.
All right.
And I just remember being. I mean, I would have been like 4 or 5 then, and I remember being incredibly sad because this is the one I think where Piglet leaves everyone, and it's just so sad as a child anyway. I don't know if I'd feel the same way now, but yeah, it was such a sad film.
I think I saw that in the cinema as well. Actually, now that I think about it, because they don't talk about. Am I wrong in saying it's like they talk about the family tree a lot?
I think they always do, but
yeah, no,
it
was like there was like more of a much more meaning towards it, but I know exactly what you're meaning with Piglet. Like I still remember. It's just that again, you saying that has unlocked that deep memory.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Kelly?
Mine's was Shrek. I remember going to the cinema to see Shrek.
Nice.
And we got it in 3D specifically. So when I think Donkey's crossing the bridge and the bridge falls down and you see it coming towards you, I remember we all had the 3D glasses on and my mum was going like that. Like to talk it and stuff. But I do remember Shrek, that sticks in my head. That was the first cinema experience I can remember and recall. But yeah, it was fantastic. All the Shrek movies, I think, were pretty good.
Yeah. You know what? I don't think I've actually went to the cinema to see any of the Shrek films, but I do have an interesting memory from what I think was the first time I watched the original Shrek movie. You know how sort of very near the start when he's still in the swamp and he's enjoying himself, you know, living his own life. And there's a part where he eats the food, but he grabs it and he just goes like that and he drops it in his mouth.
Yeah.
So I remember I was sitting watching the movie, you know, in the living room with my mum. Again, I would have been like maybe 5 at this time. Plate of spaghetti bolognese, and I just went, dropped it all over my face. It didn't work out the same for me as it did for Shrek, but
I take it she
did a miss.
she was not
She wasn't
happy.
happy. No.
That's brilliant. Nah, yeah, it's funny you say that. Like you kind of take on certain mannerisms from like certain films, don't you? If you want to, like certain actions you take from a film. Like I think, again, you do that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think of an example actually. Um, Garfield was mine actually when he kept like doing that thing with us because he done like the one with the sardines and the like the lasagna and stuff.
Mhm.
It was always like these kind of mannerisms and it always put you in the mood for it and stuff. So it's funny. Well, here's a question actually for both of you actually. What would you say is the best out of the franchise?
Oh, like of.
Of Shrek,
Yeah.
I would say it definitely has to. Oh, it's probably a close one between 1 and 2.
I'd have
Probably
to,
2. Probably number 2, I would say.
yeah. I think that's a solid choice, yeah. Actually, yeah, I did. My favourite probably was 2. Well, I think it was 2, wasn't it? Where it was like all about the love potion and then taking it and the fairy godmother. I'd say that was probably my favourite. A lot was happening in there. Yeah, that was quite dramatic. The big gingerbread man and that.
Yeah, having all these new characters really worked out.
Yeah. Aye.
Like balls.
Robin
Virgin.
also agrees. Robin
Yeah.
agrees. It's true.
Yeah.
I think the second one's the best as well. Obviously, yeah. No, it is. I must admit, it's really,
There's
really
a new one
good.
coming out, isn't there?
Yeah, there's
Not
a new one.
coming out next year or
Pretty sure there's a Donkey spin-off and a new Shrek film coming out as well because Eddie Murphy confirmed it, I think.
Mhm.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Myers doesn't do much at all now, so this will be quite an exception for him.
Yeah.
I think the last thing he done was Bohemian Rhapsody, just as a cameo.
I saw he did, aye. Yeah.
I mean, he needs to
Aye.
make a Austin Powers film.
Aye, July
yeah, I would love that.
2006. Aye.
Thanks for the info, Robin. That's great. There we go. Let's get this ticket. Now, I tell you what, have you seen the newest Puss in Boots film?
I haven't.
No, have I? No.
No.
My sisters haven't dragged me on it yet.
Yeah, I think it's called The Last Wish or something. But, phenomenal. I'm not even kidding. That was literally one of my favourite films of the year. It was so good. The reason why I went to go and see it was because I saw how high the scores were. And I was just like, well, I'll go and give it a try and see what the hype's about. But oh my god, I'm like that. This is actually phenomenal. Like and then there's like TikToks getting made about it and everything. And I'm like that. Like what the hell? It's like anime, if you know what I mean. But like DreamWorks took on anime to another level, like with the fight scenes and stuff. So I was pretty impressed, I must admit. Yeah. So there we go. Shrek 2 is the best. I mean, I would say that's kind of that's a close call, I must admit. So, Pat, we're not going away from films, but again, like, what I would like to know, and I'm sorry, my audience would be like, what is the latest for Condor? Can you tell me much?
So what's coming up soon?
Yeah.
Well, we do have another big. Well, we've got a few, but we've got more big documentaries on the way.
We've got a lot in the works, but one of the things we are focusing on right now is a Who Was series. So we're covering all West Lothian people that you may not have heard of or known that they were actually from West Lothian, and covering them in like a short. I think the longest we would go is 20 minutes, but they're generally about 10 minutes long, I'd say.
Yeah, between sort of like 6 and 15, we try to keep it. So that people can. I know sometimes a bit longer than that. People don't always have the time to sit there and watch that in one sitting. So,
like we done one about Marjorie Banks, of course, which is a bigger name. Robert Sibbald, we've done. There's quite a few to cover. You would be quite shocked about the amount of names that are here that have contributed to something massively. You know, like people don't know that in the old Kirk graveyard, there's so many of the gravestones there. They were people who were surgeons, who were, that contributed to certain medicines and treatments that we now use today, and they're all from West Lothian. It's quite remarkable, like how much can be missed in history. So that's something that we're massively focusing on. and it's another member of the team that does the research for that, and they're pretty fantastic at it. And then I just get to study the script and then, you know, read it out. So I get that. So, but I'm learning as I go, you know. But yeah, that's mostly what we're focusing on. But we do have a lot of projects. Like I say, we've got some more documentary ideas on the way that we're currently working on just now. But that's the main thing I think that we're consistent with currently.
Yeah, it's quite interesting how you're like what you're tackling at the moment, because obviously like I've seen some of your stuff and like it's interesting like what you go for as well, like and what you take on. But like yeah, the who was that just sounds quite interesting as well. Like what you were saying, Connor, like when it comes to run times and like sitting down for certain things, like I guess I'm that kind of guy. It's give me more, if you know what I mean. Like I like to obviously the entertainment side of it has to be there. I do get that, but at the same time, if there's a subject that people are so interested in, especially if it comes to this one, then like why wouldn't they want more? Do you know what I mean? So it's like one of those ones, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is for Who Was as well. I find that a lot of the names on the list of people that we're going to be, you know, doing videos on, these are people that we've had to do a lot of deep research on to actually find enough information to do a video on. And we really feel, and this I think is the main reason that we do this series, is that see if we didn't do this now, give it 20, 30, 40 years, these people wouldn't really have much for you to find out about them at all. Because we're hunting through libraries to get books that, you know, there's like one copy left of to find out the information that we need about people who play a significant part in history.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think it's there was this one. I don't know if you're a fan of like Impractical Jokers, for example, but like especially at its peak. But by any chance, do you remember the episode? Yeah, it was is it Dan Jacobs or Dave Jacobs, the superhuman athlete guy, and then they pretend that they actually know the guy.
Yes. No.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
That's the thing. And now like that video, right? There was some there was like the account skyrocketed in subscribers and views just because of that mention and that video. And it's like all of a sudden now Dan Jacobs is like everywhere he goes in the streets and stuff, he's just like he's getting stopped by to get a photo taken and that. So it just showed like it can happen, do you know what I mean? Like but things work in mysterious ways, don't they? Like in that kind of thing as well.
Yeah, I think that was quite a wholesome one. I think I actually seen that on TikTok the other day, and it's sweet because you feel, again, he was like, oh my God, like my accomplishments are kind of being recognised, and although it was just obviously they isolated on that guy and knew, but look where it has started off. Now people can see what he's achieved because of that. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's nice. It's a nice touch, and like, and I think everyone could agree. Like, you know, not everyone feels appreciated enough for what they leave their mark on this world and stuff as well. Like, there's probably some of the most important people in history people won't even know about. You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't know enough about.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you see it in biopics and many films. Like my dad, interestingly enough, met the guy who Matt Damon played in the Nike film when they signed Jordan. So it was called Air, and it's like no one really talks about him because like it's more Phil Knight who is the founder of Nike and stuff, and it's like he's the center of attention and stuff. But if it wasn't for this guy, you wouldn't have had Michael Jordan, you know. And it's true, isn't it? It's like because it was actually in that film. He says, like, see us, we're not going to have a name in 20, 30 years time. We're not going to be remembered for working here in Nike, but what I can assure you is that you, Michael, will leave a footprint in decades and like generations to come, and it won't stop. Like, you're going to be a brand for the rest of your life, basically. And it's quite interesting. So I look things so deeply into what we're just talking about, but yeah, it is one of those things.
It's like the Social Network as well. That's one of those sort of films too, right?
Yeah.
That you wouldn't know about all these other people if it wasn't for a film like that. And that was a film that I feel was done very early on, you know, in Facebook's success. I think it was, what was it, 2010?
Yeah.
It came out. And Facebook was still relatively new. I mean, it nowhere near peaked.
Yeah, yeah. I love that film so much. But like, as you say, like, what do you call it? Andrew Garfield's character, for example.
Mhm.
Like, it's funny how like he just doesn't get mentioned at all anymore. Like, it was funny because like he had like a recent interview that he didn't even want to do. It was just a pass by, and he says, "Do you still forgive Mar? Do you forgive Mar?" He's like, "Yes, yeah. Like I'm literally over and done with it. Like I'm living a happy life. Like don't want anything to do with it." So that's basically what it is.
Yeah, I think they've all done pretty well for themselves. So I don't think really
Just a wee bit,
that
you know.
anymore.
Just a wee bit, you know. But yeah, like don't have anything on us, obviously, doing filmmakers and filmmaking.
No, of course.
You know. But no, yeah. So, anything else you want to touch on when it comes to Condor?
Well, we're going to be working with you
Yeah.
and yourself and the team in the future. So, what are you most looking forward to from working with us?
One, to showing you obviously the project idea and like what I'm wanting to do from going forward. Like I've kind of found the love for filmmaking again, just to some extent. Like the process of it, the making of it. I felt like I was. I don't think anyone else holding me back. I think I held myself back quite a lot from it, just because you know there were certain restrictions I had to follow and stuff. But now I'm back to, especially fake, I can make something the way I 100% want to. And I think that with fake, I think it's funny because me and Kelly were talking about something earlier, and it was it was like quite a coincidental thing, isn't it? So I'm just hoping, really, I don't scar Kelly, basically.
I mean, it was yeah, because we showed me the project, and there was something that happened to me many years ago. I used to work in Poundland, and I had a dream that I worked there about over a year before. So, and I was scanning three in particular items. So, weird thing to dream about, right? Makes no sense. And then, so I scanned these items. I didn't really look at the person I was serving. So I scanned the items, and I thought, that's like, as you're scanning, I think, that's funny, that's it. So I went, oh, would you like a bag? And then it went quiet. And so I look up, and this woman's just.
Was this your dream, or did this happen?
This is real. This is real. This is real.
Okay.
So she's just, and I'm like,
right.
And the guy is in the line. He's looking like, what's that? And then she just kind of.
You're right, hen.
Just with a smile and like this, and she goes, "You're not supposed to be here," and just kept the smile. And I was like, so I just gave her the bag and let her go. She took the bag, just turned around and just walked, and the guy behind was like, I'll just I'll take that, no bag, please." He was
so he
people never go M&S, do they?
No, but it's still to this day sticks with me because she just said, "You're not supposed to be here," and I was like, "What do you mean, alive in Poundland?" Like, I didn't know if it was a threat, you know, but still, it's so bizarre. So it was freaky. She didn't seem quite real. There was something just a constant, never left. So
it's like smile. It's literally like smile, isn't it? Like, oh my god.
I still remember it. It's that engraved into my head because I'm like, what do you mean? I'm scanning other people's items. I'm like, what did she mean? Alive or this? Or like,
you know what?
It's so strange.
I think this weekend I might go into Poundland and do that to until just so they can have a great experience.
I like it. Robin just put demon.
Yeah.
Like,
have you ever seen Insidious?
Yeah,
I like Insidious when he's in the poster on it, just the big smile tilts. That's what it was like. And she never took it off her face, not once. Just to take the bag and that. And I was like, this is freaky. She's on something, or I thought, oh no. But I think it was, what's funny was, I don't know if the guy was something of the church that was next, because he had, you know, the white collar with the black, that he had that. So I thought, is he a priest? I thought, just followed by this woman, and he found it weird as well. He was like, yeah, you know, you're watching them, but you're trying to, he was a bit taken back, and I'm thinking, well, that's creepy. I mean, I had a few experiences that were creepy in different ways, but that one was quite demonic. I really truly believed, I was like, there's something not right there. What did she mean? Still to this day, we'll never know. But,
I guess.
So you can use real emotion when we're filming.
Yeah.
I guess.
So it's funny when things come around full circle, basically, because reading your project, and I was like, that's weirdly similar to the experience. It has some connection, you know.
Yeah, so like you were saying, see the guy behind actually noticed the situation as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, he did. That's the weird thing, because I didn't much look, because again, interacting with her, you said hello, I said hello, but she never said hello, and that's fair. Sometimes you get that people are not really wanting to social with you, and again, you have to ask if you want a bag, and then she still didn't speak. So then I'm looking at it, and that's when I see like that, and I'm like, oh, and it's not like a natural, you know, hi. It is something like forced, like cheek up and a slightly tilt like that. And again, then I'm like, the bag, and she's just staring. So we look at each other again for a couple seconds, and I just hear the back, and that's when she says, "You're not supposed to be here." And that's all she ever said to me. There was no bye, hi, like whatever. It was just that. And then the guy obviously was watching our walk, and he went, yeah, just these, please. And I think he was buying like some cigarettes and stuff like that.
Some holy water.
Some holy water. But you know where you just look like, yeah, I'll just yeah, and he's looking at me, but he's still, yeah, I'll just have that, please. And he's going like, oh, like sort of thing. But so he did think that's a bit weird, and that's also what made me think, yeah, he's captured it, so I'm not just hallucinating or something's wrong with me. But it did happen. I still remember the woman. She was blonde, and I'm sure she had glasses and a fringe. She was wearing black. I'm sure she was. But yeah, it's funny what sticks with you. It's so strange. It happens so many years ago.
You cannot forget that.
2017, I think, time it was. We're talking, like, I was young at the time, so I was about 16, 15. It must be 16, 17, actually. Yeah, 16 we'll go with. But, yes, weird. It's still strange. Yeah. So it's... Don't know what she meant. But...
Well, what I can say about it, it's not a woman that's going to be saying it. And he's not going to have a smile.
Yeah. Right.
Many other people might have smiles, but not a specific character. So just saying, you won't. I'll just, I'll make it a closed set so that, you don't need to go for that again.
Well, I do think it's a good idea. I'm much looking forward to the project that you're going to release. I'm excited to see how it's done, because there's so much you could do with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's exciting.
It reminds me, I want to send you obviously the animation of it, and I'll send that after the live. It's definitely something I do want to kind of go further down. Like I feel like a lot of great ideas actually come from like these tapes and like horror kind of concepts, so, like creepypastas and all that kind of jazz. And I feel like there's just so many like kind of horror kind of themes to be told that haven't been told before, because it's like, and yeah, it's just kind of an interesting concept, I think, like kind of going forward. So there's a lot more to come with that. But I guess what we could mention as well is that hopefully further down the line we're possibly talking about having you as special guests for Hunters and Horrors, which is another thing that we're interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that. Actually, that's stuck in my head since we met. Like, I'm looking forward.
So again, Robin's is actually has been helping us out with that as well, and it'll be interesting to see if we can try and get something organised for that. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There's a lot of things that we have to look forward to.
Yeah, we've got a few locations in mind.
Yeah.
We could.
Please let us.
We could use.
Know.
Yeah.
A lot of spooky places around here.
Yeah.
There's one in particular I'm thinking of that I think we could do something big on. Which is pretty good. Pretty haunted from what I hear. So.
But we'll tell you about that
later. It has to happen after.
Next week.
Yeah.
I know. It's a good feeling, because like I don't know about you guys, but like I'm huge on Halloween and that as well. So like like that time of the year, which is weird because I'm a golfer and like realistically golfers don't really like this time of the year, but it's sometimes good for a change, you know. So
Yeah. I love Halloween,
yeah,
to be fair. I do love
Halloween
I love
themed films.
Yeah. It's not like I'm even doing anything for Halloween, but it's always something I like when it comes around. You know?
Yeah. I know. I want to do more on Halloween as well.
Yeah.
Like I always want to do more because, like, yeah, like I like it so much, and there's so many like other things to do. They're just like everyone else is boring. So yeah.
Are you dressing up this year?
Well, I'm supposed to be going to a works night out. I've got 3 ideas. They're so basic, so don't judge, right? But we've got and Robin, oh my god, I hate you so much. But like, it's either basically Batman, Spider-Man, or Wolverine at the moment because I'm on that Wolverine trend with Deadpool and Wolverine coming out. So we'll see what happens. The problem is I don't tend to grow facial hair as strongly as some others. So we'll need to see what we can do. I might just attach it, you know.
Yeah, just stick it on.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. We'll see. We can make a pretty poor effort at it, that's for sure. What about yous? Have yous got any ideas?
I do. I've had one that I've kind of wanted to do is the Pixel Lara Croft. I wanted to be from the, like, is it the PS1 or PS2, like Tomb Raider?
All right.
I wanted to, wanted to try that. Yes, yeah. You lock them in the freezer.
Yeah.
Everybody do that universally. Like, that was a universal thing. Before even anyone was on the internet, everyone locked that poor butler in the freezer.
Actually, a game I've not played. I'm not actually playing that game, no. I would probably do that, though. I'd probably lock him in the fridge.
You hear him coming, he's like got his little tea tray and like... Everybody done it. And I'm only finding out of years later, it's like, why did everybody do that? Like, what was connecting to everybody? This poor butler, you could also shoot him. You know, you could shoot him in the garden. He'd go with a big target.
Oh, so he wouldn't die?
He just had this big target hanging. You could shoot him like, oh, don't.
Wasted bullets.
Such a shame. That butler had the abuse. And Tomb Raider from everybody.
There was a nostalgia page that said, "Is like you haven't lived if you haven't trapped the butler in the freezer." Basically,
I haven't lived in, so I need to go live.
You need to live. That's the first thing you want to do.
I'll go home and I'll live tonight.
It's in the mansion when you're walking around.
I never completed that game. Do you know, I just trapped the butler in the freezer and then I wandered about in that mansion for a bit and then that was me.
Yeah. I liked swimming in the pool. I love swimming in the pool.
Yeah, swimming in the pool as well.
Green water, it was pure green water for some reason, but
oh my god.
It was fun.
So you're a gamer yourself, Kelly?
I am a gamer, yeah, massive. At the time, it was actually my dad that introduced me to it when I was really young. It was PlayStation 1 and it was Diablo.
Nice.
We used to play Diablo together, and that was great fun. You would always hear, like, when you obviously kill one of the enemies, you would always hear the little ring drop, like that. And each time me and my dad were fighting these, and we'd stop and we'd both dart for the ring to see who could get it first. And that was a good memory. And then I started getting into the Resident Evils, and I would watch my dad play it. I was really young, and then he went, "Oh, you can have a go if you'd like." And I says, "Oh, you know." And then he went down the stair, and I thought, well, and it was paused. I thought, well, I suppose I could have a go. So I unpaused it. Kid you not, something came round the corner within like so fast. I ended up screaming and chucking the controller and running.
He was probably more annoyed at the fact that you've made him die at it.
Probably.
I'm still not forgiven him to this day.
I think it was the one with Nemesis, you know, Stars. Yeah. I think it was that one. Someone came charging around that corner so quick, honestly.
That's class.
But
that's amazing.
The first time sort of game, and then ever since then, I would play games with my dad, and then eventually go on and play different games. I'd say Red Dead Redemption 2 is my favourite.
Oh my god.
Favourite game. Yeah.
I mean, you just know a lot, eh? Like, I mean, like, Red Dead is just amazing. Honestly, it's so good. Like, the second one especially. I actually re-downloaded that again recently and just played the whole thing again. And then, like, tried to find all the Easter eggs. I can't believe Nosferatu's in that.
Yeah. I mean, there's, like you say, there's so much in Red Dead, from aliens, from, I don't know, it covered everything that you could think of, dinosaurs, fossils, you know. The story was fantastic, because I played the Red Dead one with John Marston, obviously. And I loved that, and I remember thinking, I don't know if 2 will live up to it with another, you know, with a new character. I don't know what it's going to be like, and I totally loved, I think, 2 more than 1, and I love Arthur Morgan. I think he's fantastic, and the character, you can make him, obviously you can go both bad or good, but generally a good kind of guy stuck in a situation. I think
make him bad.
Make him bad.
Make him bad.
Yeah.
The antagonizing, some of the words are fantastic.
Anti-hero kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's good you have that option. The antagonising, like I say, fantastic script. Sometimes it's like hilarious, you know, very witty. I appreciate that.
They rarely make a bad game, do they?
It's true.
Yeah, they rarely make a bad
movie. I think they want to do a movie on it, and it was what's his name who played Negan from The Walking Dead? Something Jeffrey Dean. Was it Jeffrey Dean?
Oh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, yeah.
Yeah, so he played obviously Negan in The Walking Dead. He wants to play Arthur Morgan, but I can't help but hear Dutch Vanderlyn in his voice. Like, he's charismatic, and his deepness and that. I thought you're perfect for Dutch, more so than Arthur, but he's interested in that. I think Jack Black also loves the game and wants something to do with that.
I mean, they've got GTA 6 coming out next year as well, so if they do this, they're going to have a really successful few years. I mean, they already will with even one of the projects.
Yeah.
I know I'm looking forward to GTA 6.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be nice. I'll be locked up for weeks playing it.
Yeah, I swear.
Try to contact me. You won't get me.
MIA. Where's Connor?
I'll join you because honestly, I'm not kidding, right? Oh my God, I played GTA 5 so many times, right, with my mates, and we played the races, right? You know, the online stupid races that you always done, right? And I'm not even kidding, right? There was this fucking race that all you have to do is like hold in R2 the whole time. You don't need to do a single thing but press R2 until the last bit of the race. And my mate, every fucking race for some reason explodes, right? His car explodes, and we don't know why it explodes, but like it just hits like a dent on the road or something, and it explodes, right? So I'm a bit behind, and honestly, like the thing is absolute like manic, but we keep going and like twisting turns, and then all I see is flip upside down and get explode in front. And I'm like, and he's absolute off his head. Like says like, that's me out of the race now, I can't even win now. I'm not kidding. I was laughing for like a good hour and a half, laughing in my room. I lost the race because I was laughing too much. I'm not even kidding. It's because his fucking car for some reason just explodes every time he touches something, and it's like it has to be a glitch or something, but like no one really gets like an online glitch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, that reminds me of a story. I mean, it wasn't a glitch, but it was just a really funny moment I had with my friends online in GTA. Do you remember when they first released, I want to say it was called Slasher?
Yes.
Is that
one? Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I loved that one.
So what I done was, my friend, I'm sure, was playing as the slasher, the one who was, you know, hunting, and I think it was in one of the labs. So I stood directly in one of the doors. So, and it was first person as well. So he went through the door, and all he seen was my face. And he screamed. Middle of the night, he screamed.
Aye, because it's pitch black. As soon as you start, it's like the lights on, then it goes pitch black, and you've only got torches.
Yeah.
And they've got a gun, but I mind the torch was more lethal than the actual gun was. Yeah,
because if you just get one hit, that's it. You just beat him to
death. Fight for your life, basically. You know. Sorry, I'll take fault for going off topic a wee bit, but I did enjoy that. I really did enjoy that conversation. This is another Witherspoons talk for another day for sure. I guess. So I think we can all agree with that.
We'll do Witherspoons for your way next time, though.
Yeah. All right. I'm happy to drive by that way. I'm always that. I'm that guy, so it's all good. Like, Plus, I think Livingston Outlet is just a tad better than anything I can offer. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. We'll take your word for it.
So, I want to ask you both a question. We've got two more. But so individually, I want to ask, what got you into film and media? Like, because obviously you are also very media based in your company, but I see that like you love the film side of things, but also you do a lot of media. So what is it that drove you to like kind of get into the film and media industry in the first place?
Do you want to start, Connor?
Sure, I'll start. So I think for me it started when I was probably 2007. So I was about 9 years old, and I joined Firefly. It was actually under a different name at the time. It's now called Firefly, but it was a few years before they changed the name. And basically, they had one like a youth theatre, which I was a part of, and they also ran the occasional like film club or like film week, and I just really loved it. Like I'd done the film weeks, whenever they came up, and I'd done the youth theatre for, well, up until I was 18 years old, and wasn't youth anymore. Wasn't able to go. Over the last few years of being there, I think maybe once I turned like 14, 15, I started to go more towards film than theatre, because up until that point, I think I just really enjoyed being an actor, being in front of the camera or just acting. But I don't know what changed, but I just started to enjoy and appreciate the other side of the camera.
So I didn't know that. So do you do you still have an interest in acting as well?
Not so much. I mean, I keep getting asked and pulled back by other members of the team to maybe take up a role or two, but I do prefer to be behind the camera.
Fair. No, like I can relate to some extent. I still love acting, like a bit too much, because like again, you get lost in something. You love to kind of. This is why I like doing my own stuff, especially. And when I done Gaff, there was a great opportunity there to play a character that I wrote for myself, to basically just spread a message. You know what I mean? And like, and I feel like when you write something for yourself, or like you act, you feel like a script is always made for you, and whenever you write the script, you feel like no one else can play it because no one else can actually understand how you're trying to get across. But it's also the same reason why I love directing as well. Like I love working with actors, and I love actors that are good to be directed, if you know what I mean. So it's, but I totally understand. There's something about being behind the camera, always seeing that final frame and just pressing record basically and let the magic happen.
Yeah, having a little bit more creative control as well. I like that sort of thing. Plus, sometimes when you're in front of the camera, there's a little bit more unpredictability than you might like.
Yeah.
I remember this one audition that I went to. I didn't end up getting the part, but I did get a call back. And in the original audition, I want to say the film was called something like The Bird. It was through Edinburgh. It was shot maybe, say, 12, 13 years ago. Right. It was through Firefly. They had word that there was auditions going, and they asked us all who wants to go, and I went. And as part of the audition, there was one shot they were looking to test, where I was holding a lit match, but I was holding it sort of at an angle, and I was waiting for them to say cut because it was burning up to the point where I was like, my fingers are getting hot. But I'm gonna be professional here, like me, 12 years old, being like, no, I'm gonna be professional. I'm just gonna keep going. And honestly, I feel like I was starting to burn just when they shouted cut, and I was like, I was like, I don't know how many times I can do that.
You done that on purpose.
Yeah, they were testing me. That's why I got called back.
It's like sadistic.
Yeah.
No, Travis is that.
That's a name somewhere, isn't it?
I was doing it for free as well. I wasn't getting paid.
That's brilliant.
Terrible.
No.
Call the union.
Golly.
Oh, brilliant. Kelly.
Yes. So for me, it was, I think I was only in like primary one, sort of. I was really, really young, and I used to watch Laurel and Hardy. I loved them. And then my mum was in the kitchen at the time, and she heard me laughing, like laugh crying. She's thinking, "Oh, what's going on in there?" So she's seen that I was laughing at both Laurel and Hardy, and I'm sure they were pushing the piano up the stairs, and it was the one, and they kept falling back down and stuff. But I remember as time went on, I continued to watch them, and then I thought it made me so happy. Basically. I was like, oh, that looks like fun. I want to make people happy, and that was my initial sort of take into it, which my meaning changed as time went on. Then I was acting in a primary 7 play, and I was very quiet, very shy back then, and I went, okay, I'm going to go for the lead. And everyone's like, all right, okay, I've learned the whole book within under a week, every page. I could tell you which page each thing was on. I ended up getting the part and then was acting in front of everybody, and then everyone said that was what I was made for, or what they thought I was made for. So I went into college, if we're skipping years, and I'd done radio and television. So that's where the media side, I suppose, started to come into things. And then I progressed on to the year of live multi-camera operation. So we were running live productions, and we got to do multiple jobs. Like I was a floor manager, I was the graphics producer, the lighting, the sound. There was nothing that we didn't cover. But everyone always said, and I remember this, everyone said as time went on that presenting was maybe more for me. My mum always said that. She said, I think presenting is where, and I always said, no, I want to act. Like I want to be in films and stuff like that. And I remember I was in college, and I think someone was phoning me, and then I just started speaking and then hung up. But I realised that the room that was loud with people, it went quiet by the time I got off the phone, and they're all just staring at me. So I turned around and they're like, I think you're made for presenting. And I was like, I've heard this all my life, stop it, no. And here I am now, with more on the presenting side of life, because I seen a post that you guys.
You want to know something, Kelly? See all these people who told you that over the years? Yep. We paid all of them to tell you that.
That makes sense.
We did.
Right.
They were all paid actors.
Connecting the dots.
These friends and family of yours, all paid actors.
But I was like working, and I'd stopped. I was on YouTube for a while, and I was doing some singing videos on YouTube. And then again, I stumbled across a post on Facebook, and it was they had uploaded it saying we're looking for a Bangor presenter. And I had some stuff that was during the week I was working, but I remember I messaged one of the other members of the team, and I says, listen, I'm up for this, I'm really interested, but I can upload it then. And then they went, yeah, that's fine, sure. And I think I was the last to upload it.
You were one of the last submissions, yes.
So, and then,
but it was pretty clear once yours was in. You were the choice. There wasn't any debate.
I remember one of the members said, "You the boy." You remember? You panicked.
Initially, that my vision was that it would be a guy who was presenting the film.
Yeah.
But then by the time we went through, I mean, nothing bad against anyone else who put an audition tape in, because they were all good. Just no one was a better fit than Kelly for what we were looking to do.
Like, to be fair, that's the wonderful thing about a team, is there's so many different opinions, and they're all so important, because they all, like you say, you had a vision. So it's good to hear that, because you could have went down an avenue that's like, actually, yeah, that does. I never thought of that. So working as a team is so important, and hearing opinions is so important, and taking it on and not just dismissing them. You might not maybe go with them in the end, but as long as you've heard them, listen to your team, because at the end of the day, if you're not a team, it's never going to work.
See, it's interesting. It's basically came full circle for you, because you started off by watching Laurel and Hardy, and now you work with them.
It's true. Now I work with Penny Clouds.
That's actually a good comparison. No, I was
full circle.
It's the one thing I was going to say, like, Kelly, it's like we're relating a bit too much here, because, like, growing up with my late gran and papa, I used to watch the cassettes of Lauren Hardy. I mean, we talked about this in Witherspoons, I think.
We did. I'm sure we did. Even before then, I talked at the film festival, we talked about Laurel and Hardy briefly,
we did.
But you did.
It was. So it was. Laurel, and I was talking about the snooker table and the horse eating off the couch, and that like it's still honestly one of the best things ever. And like it's funny that it just makes me smile that like other people talk about it as well.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna like just like we were talking about Still Game the other night as well. You know,
it's yeah.
Just it's too good. We play it in work all the time as well. Like every time you go on break or it's on repeat all the time. Like everyone in work just hits off with like Still Game stuff, and it's just a very happy place when it comes to that. So, but that's quite. And it's funny you actually mentioned something there about like you know how Kelly was the one like to kind of come on board and stuff because, and like you were saying about a team aspect when it came to Apple Tree. There was this one time that I'm looking through auditions for Gaff, and Alex originally the description was a Scottish boy, doesn't take himself too seriously, he's quite funny, all this kind of stuff. But it's like you know each to their own. Like you can either take him or you can't. That's just what was in my head. And Daniel Cabander comes along, and he auditions. This American, well, he's not American, he's actually English, but he picked up an American accent like from a young age. And I'm just like that. Like he's like, nah, there's literally no one else can play this part now. It's like I changed my mind. Like it's his role. Like you can have it if you want to. So I literally rushed to basically tell everyone in Apple Tree, you need to see this audition. Like it's actually incredible. It's so funny as well. So I showed them it, and they were just like, okay, no, yeah, I agree. Like no, he needs to be this role, and it's like, but it's exactly that because everyone else, you know, put in a great effort. They've done their thing. And I'm like that. It's funny how like I'm looking at one of the auditions. I'm like, okay, that's probably the strongest so far because that's what's with the description. But then like this person who's nowhere near the cast type has changed my mind to say, no, I'm making this work. This is the best person for it, basically. So I can relate to that aspect.
Yeah. I mean, like it's funny how life went because obviously I always thought I'd be on the acting side of things, and now I'm on the more presenter. But I'm honestly like really grateful that you did pick me at the time because it's been some of the best years of my life, some of the most challenging years because you know you're faced with so many new challenges. But I'm honestly grateful because I have had some of the best years being able to do this because it is I've always wanted to do this. So thank you for sharing it as well.
I think it's worked out well for everyone. So thank you.
But you know, it's like as long as like it has to be teamwork makes the dream work. The saying is there. It's easy, but it is true. And like I say, sometimes different opinions it can be hard to share because maybe you don't want to offend people if you think, oh, maybe do this and that. But I feel like this group can be pretty good at hearing things out. Like you know what I mean? And you have to be as well. You know what I mean? Like I'm all for hearing different opinions. I'm never like if like I'll have an idea and Connor goes, you know what? I've thought of something. What do you think of that? I say, you know what? Actually, that is a good idea. I didn't think of that. So it's important that you have a strong, like I think a strong team. And it's not to say that we won't be challenges down the road, but sticking with it.
I could not.
You're going to have challenges. Sometimes he'll hate me, but you know, like it's just going to happen. If he doesn't hate me now, but you know, it's all part because you're working so closely. And like I say, this is what our jobs are, or wanting to be our jobs. You know, so it's. You're going to have bumps and all that, but I feel like we can work through it, or I would hope that we can, and I'm sure that we can.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's especially like from like even just a director's point of view or like a creative point of view, and like there's nothing worse. I went through a big phase not long ago that like you just feel like sometimes that you weren't heard, if you know what I mean, and that's why I just kind of I had to go back to the drawing board of like, you know, like it's like what am I doing this for? Like, do you know what I mean? Because like for a while it's like, you know, I'm not really enjoying it as much these days, and there's a reason for that. because even though Jacob Tyler was like the hardest project I'll probably ever have done, but
Yeah.
at least I was very like I stuck to my guns and I got to do something that I wanted to do. Now it's not 100% the film that I wanted to complete in the end, but that comes down to budget and stuff. Like the fact that we could make a 2.5 hour film with 10K is still crazy, but it's but with Gaff, I'm still really happy how it went and stuff. And I'm like as I say, I'm very grateful that I have a team that actually just listen to me and they are always on board with what I want to do, really. Because it's the same with them. They're doing their own thing as well, and they're adding to Apple Tree, so it's the same. But what I will say, from my point of view, from what I've seen of Condor so far, it's pretty complimentary because, like obviously meeting you at West Lothian was a joy, and obviously the recent meeting was really good as well. But also when I was doing the press for West Lothian, you know, you asked me some really like kind of good questions and represented as well as Ben was saying.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about when I was thinking about what you said on motivations and maybe enjoying it less. I think that is a common thing, and I think it happens to all of us because it certainly happened to me. Like I said, this is my complete and utter passion. But you can have things and just, God, like, where you're just a bit more low, and it's trying to find that motivation why you're doing it in the first place. Are you enjoying it? What aspects are you enjoying? So my question is, what keeps you motivated, and what keeps you thinking this? What do you want, like basically? What keeps you motivated, and what is it that you're after with everything that you do?
It's a good question. I like that question actually. It's like so since I've been a kid, I've had a very stubborn mindset, and I must admit, but at the same time, I've proven myself wrong. I've proven others wrong from certain things. I've always said it's like my teacher used to say to me. One of the funniest things was that she said to me, "What is it you want to do when you leave school?" And I said, "Well, I want to be either a filmmaker or a golfer." And she said, "Well, both of them are kind of unrealistic, aren't they? But at the same time, like you can't do both, or like you have to choose one or the other." And to the funny extent is that I'm doing both. Do you know what I mean? So like, I've competed at a high level of golf, and I'm also now competing for films in general, and like what I'm doing with fulfillment, Apple Tree, and everyone else is has just been incredible so far. But like people say to me, what is your end goal? And I'd say like, well, I either want to win an Oscar or I want to win a major. It's like that's just the way that my mind works, like so. But you kind of, yeah, like my motivation is that I want to make the rest of my life the best of my life. So like, what is it that gets you up every single day, like in order to go that way? Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
you like, oh, I want to make a film. Okay, right. I used to burn myself out a lot, so I used to be like, it's like I need to finish this whole script, and I need to, get this movie done so that everyone can see my awesome idea. And then it was a rushed piece of shit, basically, and stuff. And now it's like, no, well, start with one page, start with the best page you possibly can do, and then all of a sudden you've got a much, much more quality film because all of a sudden it's like, wow, the difference there, I think that's my lesson I learned with Gaff, if you know what I mean. And I think that people were really happy with the script. They really wanted to be involved because of that. And yeah, that is basically like my motivation. It's basically like we all want to retire our family. We all want to, basically just live the best life possible and just keep, achieving the dreams that we think we can't get, but I know we can. It is possible. You just need to kind of keep going with it, don't you?
Yeah. It's like keeping, like I say, keeping that motivation and finding the why to why you're doing things is so important because we all hit, I think, a point at rock bottom where I just can't, or I don't feel like it and this and that. But it's finding that way to keep going, and it takes such strength, I think, to keep going. Maybe when you don't quite feel like you want to, I think it shows character definitely, and it takes some great strength. So like I say, we'll always have that, I think. I know it's something I'll have, because I can be up and down with things and feel demotivated. I'm usually quite motivated to do things because you're striving after something, but it doesn't mean you don't have your days.
Yeah.
But I think what motivates me more, I was thinking about this a lot actually, is I think the people around me motivate me. I think I need friendship in the sense, or friends or people that I love around me to help. It was something, because I thought, if I feel like things are going wrong, or maybe that friends are not there, maybe at the time where I would like them to be there, I can go totally off the rails and be like, nah, it's no point, I'm not interested, So I think I need people to show that they care, that they like having me about, that they do support me. I maybe one of those people that need assurance, like, we love what you're doing fantastic, this and that. I think I need support from the people I care about. I think that's what keeps me going in life, is the people that I care about.
Yeah, you need to surround yourself with the right people for sure. And I think that like further on in life, I don't know if you are the same, but like your circle really does get smaller to some extent. You know a lot of people, and it's great to have these people in your life and stuff. But there's these people that that are in your circle, and they're only taking you further. It's true what you say as well. The hard thing sometimes that Robin will tell you this, but like I shut myself off quite badly sometimes with people. Like if I feel like things it's like, oh, I need to do this myself, and it's like they are just a constant reminder to say, it's like, no, we're here to help you. What is it that you need help with? And I'm like, it's like I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to be that. It's like, I know I can do this, but sometimes it is just okay to ask for it.
Yeah, like I say, it's just something I have been thinking about a lot, like and like what I need from life to keep me going, and I do need my pals, you know what I mean, and I need my family there, because I don't know what I would do. Like this, like I say, Condor, I take you as all my friends, and so your constant support, from the team, it's so important. I feel like without it, I don't know if it would quite work for me. You know what I mean? I feel like I would probably be unmotivated, and I'd be sluggish doing things and that. But because I do feel motivated by you and support, that I can do the stuff that I do. So like, I think that's the best thing. If your team supports you, I think you can keep going, and that's what I hope for every team that's trying to get somewhere. That you feel supported, because to not feel supported is such a horrible feeling. Like I say, I felt it, even if it's not necessarily real. That's another thing. It's like your emotions go up and down, so that's why you need people that care for you there to tell you, no, maybe you're not thinking quite right. It's not the case. But, it happens. We're all human, and all the emotions go up and down. So it's pretty normal to feel demotivated and maybe not love it, and to the point where you did, but you always come back to it, because if the right people are around you, then you'll come back. I think that's a good lesson. I think that's a good a good tale.
It's funny because like I feel like I hold myself back from the actual truth a lot, and like you asked me about my. Can you guys hear me still?
I was going to say the sound went. There we go. Now we can.
No, sorry, it's disconnected from my car. That's what it is. I do hold myself back, and there's a much deeper meaning to like my motivation and stuff that I'll tell you is more at a better time. But like, it's funny you actually asked me that question, and it's basically led me to my final question. Like, but to some extent,
there we go.
But I kind of want to hear what is it that motivates you guys before I give like the kind of. It is the same, but it's not the same. So go for it.
Yeah, go.
To be honest, I think I'm a little bit different than that sort of Fred. For me, I think it's the work itself. So see, a bit like how you said about that one amazing page. It's a bit like that. Like I'll see like for example, one amazing page. I'm like this deserves the rest to be just as good. So I'm gonna that motivates me. Or for example, with the music, once I'm starting to feel what it's going to be, once I see the bigger picture, and it starts to sound good in my head, it's just so quick from there. It just like I won't stop.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Like I'm quite familiar with that. Like as soon as you have like an idea that you want to tell, it's like you won't stop until it is told, basically. And it's mind the amount of times that people. Sorry, he's all right.
Yep, we're here.
Sorry, he's adjusting something.
Yeah. Oh, that was yeah, because basically my phone it's on is like running out of charge, so I put it on now when it was sitting. So now it's like I'm holding it, so I'm just like
That's
out
fine.
reach like
Yeah.
this. For the last
So the countdown's on.
Okay, I'll try and make it sharp. It's true. It's true. Like you feel like I'm the same. Like I mind back in just lockdown times. This is when I started to make Jacob Tower, for example. And I'm like that to myself. I watched this certain film, and I'm like that. I think I can do this. By the way, I think I can actually like do this properly and all that kind of stuff. So that was my motivation. And then all of a sudden, it's like people are asking, "Oh, is it just like a college project? Is that a kid on thing?" And I'm like, "It's like no, it's legit going to be." It's like, and then I was like, they just shut it down quite quickly and all that kind of stuff. But one of the best things ever, I don't want to say names just in case it goes out there, but there was a certain someone that used to always shut down my projects, like my ideas going forward. And I'm like that to myself, okay, like whatever, like you'll see, that same person at the premiere of Jacob Tyler came up and was the first one to congratulate me and, and basically pour out so much, praise and stuff about the project. And that's what keeps me going, like see stuff like that. Like it's not even just to prove anyone wrong, because I feel like you have to just prove yourself more than anyone. It's just, but it's the recognition part of it is like awesome,
Yeah. No, you're right. It is nice because people have different views on what's possible and what's not possible. So maybe to them it was like, no, that doesn't seem right. But obviously it did work. And then I'm like, oh, it did work. Well done.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's not even malicious. Sometimes it's malicious because there's always going to be critiques where maybe a member of the team, like I'd designed something and I went to a member and I went, I don't know if I quite like that actually. I think that, and it's like fair dues. We're always looking for, criticism because it helps it go in the right direction. But it's not always with malice, and it might just be a case they couldn't see it the way you see it, and that's what's special about a vision, is it's your vision and how you want it, and not everyone will see it, but once you execute it, it's like well done, because they couldn't see what you could see. So you're right, it's proven. It's not even necessarily proving them wrong, but proving that your vision was correct. But it is always nice if someone says specifically, like, no, you can't. Like, there's something good in proving.
It's bittersweet, isn't it? I get it.
Yeah, yourself essentially. I remember a situation, and it's quite a sad situation, but someone I used to know. Again, when it comes to acting, I always felt a bit nervous. I still do with everything, to be fair. That it's like I always feel a bit anxious. But I remember I was speaking to what I wanted to do, and it was like perform or something like that, and they turned around and I remember them going, and you're actually going to do that, are you? Because they knew that with being anxious that I wouldn't. And I remember how that hit me. I felt so bad because I like, what, and you're actually going to do that? And I ended up obviously doing what I'm doing now. So to me, that's the best revenge, because it shows that I'm more public or doing this. So yes, I did. I got there in the end.
That's awesome.
But that's the thing. There are people out there that do want you to fail and don't want you to succeed for either their own personal reasons or, how they're feeling. But it is important that you do things for you. Like you say, it's proving yourself that you can do it.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing in life, is proving to yourself that you can do the things that you want to do.
Yeah. I think we're very like-minded. I think all three of us actually. It's funny you say that, because like one of my favorite speakers of all time also said that it's like but if they can't see it for someone, it's because they can't see it for themselves. It's a representation of who they are, basically. And it's like I don't believe in limitation. We know what our limits, but like we know what has been done. So there has to be that possibility, you know, and like, but there's no denying that you have to work for it as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Everything is hard work in life. All the good things are hard, you know what I mean? So it's pushing through them. And like I say, I get anxiety with everything, but it's pushing through it.
Yeah.
And often people go, "You're not maybe anxious about it." I'm thinking, "Oh, yeah, I am. I'm scared. I'm like terrified, quite frankly." But yeah, I don't know. It's just sometimes you can't push through it. Sometimes you need a day where you're just like, I just need to, like, you know, not. But most times, 9 times out of 10, I will push myself because you need to get through it.
Yeah.
Like I did a singing competition many years ago, and I was so scared. It was in front of 220 people. My neck was burning and throat drying, and I did it. And then you want to do it again, because then the fear you've proven to yourself you can do it, and then you're like, well, I can do it again because I've done it before.
Because you've adjusted to it as well, haven't you? And it's like I've just proven to myself.
That's it, and I think that's what's important. Making sure that, you know, you're proving yourself right and keeping yourself right and showing that you can do things, because people limit themselves all the time.
Yeah.
And it either is situations or people around them or anxiety in itself. But it is important to keep going, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I would say.
100%. No, right. I'm going to switch this light on for the final question. Okay, so just bear with me. Right. I'm just going to let it connect.
There.
I'm back. Hear me?
No, yes, yeah.
Perfect. Right, we're sorted. Okay, so you will understand why this is a very similar question, but okay, so Condor's dream, when it comes to it, what is your angle? What is the motivation? How far do you want us to go? What is the goal?
All the way.
All the way.
All the way.
Love that.
All the way.
Yeah. Just to become as successful as it can, really. I think what we can offer and what we do is so valuable, especially when it comes to the history side of things, because like we mentioned before, there are so many people that maybe not represented is maybe not the right choice of words, but people that you don't know about. I think it's so valuable to know where you come from, what you're built upon. So I think we offer such a valuable thing to people. I suppose that's what I love much about it, is we do care for the community, and many of the members of the team were so motivated for the area that we live. We do love the area that we live, and we want it to do the best that it can do. So the more success that Condor brings, I think the more good that we can do. So I'm motivated by all the good that we can do. So I suppose if we can get it to be successful and creating an identity, you know, that's I think that's massive. Like the bigger the identity that we can create, again, the good impact that we can create. And it's not just an identity for us. There's also another member of the team that was also having their say as well. It's creating an identity for the people, because the history, if you don't know much about your area, you're not very passionate about your area, because you don't know anything. There's nothing like what good comes from the area we live. But all these amazing people that we're representing and they're all amazing. They all contributed and they all created something that, again, treatments, surgeons, everything that helps in today's age. And then you can be proud and say, well, these people came from the same area I did, and it gives people that identity and it shows them that they're able to achieve anything because all these great people did. So again, the more successful I think Condor becomes, the more good we can do, and that's a motivation, I think. So as successful as it can be, we want to help represent the people.
I mean, like I said earlier, you know, some of these stories that we're telling, if we don't tell them now, there will be no story to tell in 20, 30, 40 years. And, you know, that's just the history side of things. Obviously, there's a lot more that we want to do for the community. And telling the history is just a part of that. But, you know, things like we're going to get into doing other sort of films, you know, feature films, short films. We just really want to help our local community and sort of do well, but in doing well, bring a lot of stuff, bring a lot of success to the community, bring money into our area.
Yeah, 100%. And it was it's a nice touch that obviously you've got to be a good part of West Lothian as well, film festival. So it's another good touch to it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that was great fun to go to and
Yeah,
to see
really
all the
enjoyed myself.
filmmakers of like different varieties. Like I said before, with films, it's amazing what you can create, and there were some amazing entries, I would say, definitely in that. And that's bringing communities together, if not this community, other communities with this community. So it was definitely wonderful, the film festival, and I look forward to the many years to come and all the different entries to go in. I think is something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think it's only going to grow bigger. West Lothian Film Festival. It's like I think Chris does an amazing job with it, and it's why I sponsored it, and like I want to kind of keep helping, especially with FP. FP's short film festival as well, which again Chris is kind of a part of because he is a part of FP himself. But you'll know yourself, Connor. It's amazing what they do, and like we were talking about similar of like getting these kind of events together as another kind of angle to hopefully it's like a regular thing because it is like something I feel like you want to be more a part of, don't you?
Yeah, I mean it's a really good thing to go to, especially if it's a representation of your local community. I know there's international filmmakers in there, but a lot of these films that are being submitted are from filmmakers who are very much local.
Yeah, it's that and the quality and the talent's just tremendous. Like and this is another thing like we're kind of talking about earlier is like it's not a bad thing to have competition, and it's also not a bad thing to like other people's projects because like the quality is amazing, and like I love talking to these different types of filmmakers. You learn from these people, and it's just like it gives you so many ideas. It opens your eyes to like what is possible. Like the first FPR short film festival, there was this amazing short McRitchie and I'm on
Sorry,
filmmakers and filmmakers. Sorry. Megan McRitchie, I'm having her in my next episode for filmmakers and filmmaking, and it's just a tremendous film what she made and stuff. So it's something that I look forward to kind of talking to her about. So, but yeah, as I say, that's basically me. My questions all sorted in that. It was an absolute pleasure.
It was great fun. Thank you. It was a pleasure for us as well.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll catch up soon.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Sorry. Disconnected by accident, sorry. Did you hear that? Yeah, sorry. Yes, I'll keep in touch. Yeah, and if you don't mind posting this for a bit before we can get it uploaded, and yeah, we'll keep in touch. See you guys soon.
Yeah, we definitely.
Speak to you soon.
It was good fun.
Thanks
Thank
again.
you.
See you soon, okay?
Thank you. Goodbye.